Hey, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Tay TV, and today we will be discussing Doja Cat and her online presence, all of the shenanigans, and why I am here to defend her. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I am an annoying astrology girl. I be looking up all the girls' charts. I need to know your big three. And so when I looked up Doja Cat's big three, I found out that she was a Gemini rising child. That's part of the reasons for the shenanigans. We know about them Geminis. Those Geminis, chaotic. And Doja Cat's sun is a Libra Scorpio cusp, which is interesting. What was really interesting to me is that I found out that Doja Cat was a Virgo moon and I'm a Virgo sun. So I understand all of the pettiness. I see it and I get it. And I be cackling in the corner laughing with Doja Cat. I'm sorry. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I want to discuss is Doja Cat's internet presence and how she first got started. So she calls herself an e-girl. And so Doja Cat would go Periscope or she would go on Instagram Live and she would make her beats. She would even do her makeup. She would sometimes, when she was done creating her music, she would preview these songs on live for her fans. So, even so much so, Doja Cat became like an e-girl and she was able to earn a Vogue exclusive showing her fans how to do e-girl makeup. Along with her like tracking this internet presence, we see that Doja Cat has controversies going on. Controversy, but it was just ironic to see how Doja Cat, she was online joking with a cowgirl costume on, trying to create a song, but it actually blew up and made her viral and gave her her first viral hit, which spread the word about Doja. Her fan base grew. We all know when you blow up comes the controversy. We all know when you blow up, people want to dig up old tweets, and now you got to watch yourself a little bit more. You can't do everything you used to do. So Doja Cat was still on that tiny chat doing things like she wasn't a celebrity. So all of this is building up to her and her presence today. Let's take a look at this.
Us are, but it's become part of social media has been a really big part of what I do, and I noticed I've kind of become addicted to it. I think a lot of us are, but it's become kind of part of my.
All right. So we just heard it from her own mouth saying that she's a little bit addicted to this. It's fun, it's exciting. Doja Cat is a what? She's like 27, 28, I believe. So she grew up in the era where the internet was getting popular. She grew up in the AOL era. So let's not act like it doesn't make sense that Doja Cat be online. Now, I want to go ahead and get into her internet controversies and how she responds to her fans and backlash because all of this really plays a part into what is going on today. So let's go ahead and take a look at this.
I think when I shaved my head, it just gave me this like sense of self that was different from any other time in my life, and I feel younger. I almost feel like 10, 15 years younger than I've ever felt. I feel like I'm kind of just pushing myself out there and just accepting myself for who I am, no matter who can see me.
You could shave your head bald and start spitting like Tupac.
I think it's hilarious that the guy who was interviewing Doja for her Planet Her era literally clocked this. Doja Cat literally, let's play this video again because I really want you to pay attention to the movements because Doja Cat literally is saying in her own head, yeah, buddy, that's
I
what I'm
mean, you
gonna
could
do.
shave your head bald and start spitting like Tupac.
See that? It's like she had a whole epiphany moment. Shout out to the dude who clocked that. Anyway, so we hear Doja Cat say that she loves doing it. She loves triggering the people. Like, if you're going to let me step on your toe, I am going to raise my knee to my chest and stomp on it. I don't blame her. So let's go ahead and get into this interview with Variety. A lot of people think I'm not good at handling trolls because I respond to them, but that's the art of it. I love to go to war with trolls. That's just what I've grown up with. Going back to her being an internet girly. I've been on the internet for 1,000 years, and it's just a part of me that I need to respond. People think, oh, if you're defending yourself, you're weak. But I always rest on everyone can suck my from the back. So we see Doja Cat literally admit that if you come for me, I'm gonna come for you. It's fair game in this internet. And that's fair to say because people will say the worst things to you and about you. And all you're doing is living and loving yourself. I mean, the fact that Doja Cat really sat there and said that in this interview, let's play it again.
I think when I shaved my head, it just gave me this like sense of self that was different from any other time in my life. And I feel younger. I almost feel like 10, 15 years younger than I've ever felt. I feel like I'm kind of just pushing myself out there and just accepting myself for who I am, no matter who can see me.
I think that's just very important to know. She said that she was putting herself out there no matter who can see me. That's something that a lot of people can learn from Doja Cat. Let's continue. This one right here was real spicy. So she continued in the interview saying that, I don't know if you want to write this down, but if somebody wants to fight me on the internet, I would gladly join in. Balls to the wall. It's fun for me. I'm a very messy bitch. All right, so let's get into Doja Cat. So we're going to take a quick switch and get into what Doja Cat has to say about all of her going viral with her being at Fashion Week, the gold look, the Schiaparelli look, her shaving her hair, not having eyebrows. Let's get into it.
A lot of people would hide if they had those things like my smile lines and these little things under my eyes and whatever. It really accentuated every aspect of my face, and I loved that about this makeup. I felt the most beautiful in this look because I felt like me, and yeah, people.
So the video had cut off, but what she was saying was that she felt the most like her. Like in this Western society and standards of beauty, where women are fighting to like not have their smile lines shown as if that's not a sign of living a great, happy, blessed life full of laughter. But I mean, the fact that the girl is just coming out looking like herself and people have a problem with it in a society today where we have so much conversation about body image and body positivity, it's really hypocrisy. During her fashion week, we're still on the Variety interview. So everyone gave her for not wearing eyebrows, Nelson notes, not to mention the still polarized reaction to her shaving off her brows. The internet's horrible. And there's a bunch of kids online that have their opinions that don't need opinions. She and I were laughing in the glam room for the next day. And she's like, I'm going to give them lashes. So this is why she started applying like the lashes all over her face. It's actually really funny. Anyway, let's listen to what she has to say before we continue with the interview.
I went on Instagram after we posted it, and I was reading comments, and people were saying, some people were horrified, and then some people were just like, I feel like it needs a lash.
So we see Doja Cat's personality. We see how she likes to troll. But this is after people have trolled the hell out of her. So literally, you want lashes? You're going to get your lashes. She continues by saying she was joking around about just doing a mustache. And I was like, no, If we're gonna do it, you gotta go everywhere. You really gotta do it. Do your eyebrows, do a little goatee. She was game, and that was hilarious. We quickly assembled look, went almost viral, and it was a predecessor for her couture look that she did during Fashion Week. It's such a funny back at the internet haters, but not in an aggressive way. Also in a way like I don't care. She obviously feels beautiful with her buzzed head and is saying, I don't need the world's idea of what beauty is, especially where we live now in 2023. Everybody has a distorted sense of beauty. So, with that being said, this is why everyone is responding in this manner. Going back to what I was saying about, even though we're having all of these conversations, nothing is actually changing socially. I think that's very important to note because I feel like that's usually the tone with like Doja Cat and her shenanigans and her tweets. All right. So she says, this Illuminati is so funny to me. I'm going to keep doing it, deliberate, weird ass shit just to make these people uncomfortable. I found new outlets of joy. Doja Cat has already said that she's going to take the joke and make a bigger one.
When people are like, oh, did you sell your soul yet? And then they run away. It feels like it's a bunch of like 7-year-olds being like, hey Doja, did you sell your soul? And then they run as fast as they can away from me. And they start snickering in the corner. It's the same.
So can we blame her for that? For feeling aggravated that guys are still gonna bother her about this Illuminati thing? So let's continue with the outrage on Doja Cat's new look. Now we have tweets in which Doja Cat responded because someone came for her first. I don't blame her. They said, I wish Doja Cat, or this is the Doja they said they miss. I don't know. I think you should bring this back. And I'm not sure they're trying to be funny. We also see this comment that says, okay, but her lace front. Doja's wig used to be something else. This is true. And this is the part where it's like, do people know what they really be saying? Or do people just be saying stuff just to say it, not understanding or really realizing that this affects people, especially like people who claim to be fans? Because if you were truly a fan, you would be paying attention to these interviews. You would be paying attention to the magazine interviews and covers and what she really is saying. We all know that Twitter is not to be taken seriously. I miss her. She was so bad. You guys, Doja Cat wigs was levitating above her head. She's made fun of herself like this before. We can't sit here and say we miss Doja Cat because she bald head now when her wigs used to look like this. Clearly you making stuff up. Saw somebody edit hair onto my head for this look I did last night, and it made me mad. So I wanted to let them know they should be making money instead. Now, the second part isn't that nice, but how many times have you heard people on the internet say, clearly you're miserable and broke because you're on here being mean? It was rude of them to edit hair on Doja's head. She's literally taking in this new raw beauty that she feels that she's found and finding her own way as a woman, moving through masculinity and femininity and those energies. Who the hell are you to put hair on her head? I'm also aware of the ramifications of the last tweet and that I'll only be seeing edits of me with hair for the next 4 weeks. So I'll be logging off. I mean, but she didn't lie. When something go viral on Twitter, on the internet, we see it for a good 2 to 4 weeks. If the news slow that month, we gonna see it for 4 weeks. The Scaparelli look, we definitely saw that for I know at least 2.5 to 3 weeks. This tweet. Another reason why I'm not coming back for quite a while. Because they said, what does ramification mean? Why are you responding to me, asking me this question? You grown person, you grown capable person who's able to type a tweet, so you should be able to type a question in Google. We're not gonna sit here and act like we do not understand Doja Cat's irritability. Her name is Doja Cat, not Google. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Doja Cat's music, which is also now being controversial because we don't know what album we getting still. It's June. The lead single been past due since like April. We don't know what we getting. We don't know what genre. Let's continue with the variety interview. Now, we're talking about music in the music genre at this point. But I'll just let you know because not talking about it is making me annoyed. I want to explore punk, but not pop punk. But I want to explore more of a raw, unfiltered, hardcore sort of thing. It's just something that I'm gonna do for my own personal fun. But the whole album is no longer rap, y'all. It's rock slash spoken word, and the album title is not Hellmouth anymore. Now, she might still be trying to find the album title. As far as really telling us what we should expect on this album, if we were true fans and read the interview, it wasn't too far fetched that she's saying that this is going to be a rock album. And rock is like in the same category, you guys. And even though she's saying it's not going to be rap, I just think she means it's not going to be as hip hop. Doja Cat continues to say during her variety interview, there will be much more rap on the next album. She vows, even though she demonstrated plenty of those skills to date. During the variety interview, she lets us know there would be more rap on the album. And this is after we have went through Amala, we went through Hot Pick, and now we've went through Planet Her, 3 studio albums. So by this 4th album, I'm sure she wants to do something different. Let's continue to what she has to say about her music.
I was very lyrically or vocally evolved in that era. So I would say, yeah, that song is really different.
Then I'm just giving more attention to it, so I guess that's where the challenge comes in. Don't go and listen to Go to Town or something. Probably Go to Town. I don't like that one.
So right there, we see that Doja Cat literally is explaining how she doesn't even like half of the songs on Amala, like I was saying earlier, she really wasn't feeling it and didn't even like herself. So when we see her tweet things like, I also agree with everyone who said the majority of my rap verses are mid and corny. I know they are. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I just enjoy making music. But I'm getting tired of hearing y'all say that I can't, so I will. This is why she says that on her next album is going to be way more rap. Doja Cat has a lot to prove to the people. So it's not too much. Again, when we pay attention to what she's saying, when she's asked questions in these interviews with the people who really seem to be interested in Doja Cat as an artist, she's being open and vulnerable. So lastly, before I get into my conclusion and my final thoughts, let's take a look at this. It says, Planet Her and Hot Pink were cash grabs, and y'all fell for it. This had the people hot. This had the people hot. Now I can go disappear somewhere and touch grass with my loved ones on an island while y'all be for mediocre pop. Pop is so popular because a lot of it is just bubblegum. It's fun. It's not saying a lot of serious things. When we get into genres such as rock and rap, like the hardcore hip hop, like that trap rap, or like that pop punk rap, they start talking about more realistic things. The lyrics really do give realism. When you really look at what she's saying, like, yes, the rhymes are good, they're cute, but like for Planet Her, we're talking about sex and love and just like having fun. There's not any real topics. Considering all the hell that Doja Cat has been through, I can assure you the subjects, the lyrics are going to be far more rooted in realism, giving her experiences. Also, saying that she wants to explore punk and rap more. Oh, yeah. No thoughts on Doja Cat and all of her shenanigans is that we really just need to be patient and wait on what we're really going to get for this album. We have to think about the fact that Doja Cat is getting ready to release her fourth studio album. And if you know about the music industry, there's also a stigma around dropping your fourth studio album. They always call it the fourth album flop. It makes sense that Doja Cat would create all of these controversies. Kind of self sabotage, as some people would say, in a way, if we can base that reasoning if her fourth album does flop. So if she drops the album and the sales aren't as good as like Planet Her, then people can always say that's because she ran her fans away. I think we should pay more attention to how people are playing the internet game instead of getting played. Those are my final thoughts on Doja Cat. I think she is a brilliant, very talented, eccentric artist who really actually knows herself. And I respect that. I respect that Doja Cat loves herself and she shows it. I think those things are way more important than us knowing that she's trolling and is going to troll. I will be waiting for Doja Cat's fourth studio album to drop. I hope you guys are just excited as me, even with all of the internet shenanigans. And please let me know, how do you feel about all of Doja Cat's trolling below. Let me know if you disagree or agree with my points I made in this video. I really appreciate you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more music journalist content.